seen snow in Nigeria before. What do you think is going on here today?
This is amazing. I have never seen anything like this.
Do you think this is climate change or just a crazy miracle?
Maybe both. I'm just trying to enjoy it while it lasts.
In this video, I'm going to show you my prompting method that guarantees video creation with the audio and dialogue in Veo 3. I'm going to also show you how to create consistent characters in Veo 3.
What's the biggest challenge you face living here?
Aside from the plague, poor harvests, and the Lord's ever-hungry taxman.
I'd say it's keeping hope alive.
What's the biggest challenge you face living here?
Aside from the plague, poor harvests, and the Lord's ever-hungry taxman, I'd say it's
keeping hope alive.
Before we get started, by now you should have access to Veo 3. But if you don't have access to Veo 3, I'm going to pin a video in the pin above. I'm going to put it in the video description as well. That video explains how you can gain access to Veo 3 free of charge even if you live outside the United States. First, let's look at how to create videos with dialogue and audio in Veo 3. Creation of any video in Veo 3 depends on your prompt. For you to create wonderful videos with the audio and dialogue in Veo 3, you need to include these 5 things. First, you need to include the description of your main character or characters. Be very specific when it comes to gender, age, facial expressions, as well as the clothing of your main character or your main characters. You need also to describe the character's emotion. Do you want your character to be happy, sad, anxious, curious, or enthusiastic? Next, be sure to include the character voice. Are you going for Indian, American, British, West African accent? The next thing that you must include is dialogue. Your dialogue must be in English. Google VEO 3 is only capable of producing dialogue in English, so your prompt must be in English and your dialogue must be in English as well. Okay, your dialogue must not be more than 25 words. Still on dialogue, you need to put all the exact words in inverted commas and be specific as to who will be saying those words. For example, if you have an interviewer and interviewee, you should write as follows: interviewer colon, and then the exact words that you want the interviewer to say in inverted commas. The next thing that you must also include is scene context or atmosphere. You need to be very specific as to what is happening surrounding the main character. What is everybody doing surrounding the main character? Finally, you need to be very specific in terms of the actions. That actions include the actions of the main character, the actions of the people surrounding, but also the actions of some of the things. For example, if you want to create an action movie, you need to be very specific of what actions will be happening. Will the cars be moving? Will the people be fighting? Okay, will the people be quarreling? So you need to be very specific in terms of the actions. Next, let's look at how you can create consistent characters in Veo 3. Once you finish generating your first video in Veo 3 or your first scene in Veo 3, you need to copy the exact prompt and go to Gemini or ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT or Gemini to create a follow-up scene. ChatGPT is going to maintain each and every aspect of the first scene. It's going to give you a prompt with the exact features of the main character, exact features of the surrounding. It's going to maintain pretty much everything, but it's going to give you a follow-up scene. That is the exact method that I use for me to generate another scene that follow up the first scene where the journalist was interviewing people in the street of Nigeria about snow. Take a look.
Have you ever seen snow in Nigeria before? What do you think is going on here today?
Finally, let's look at things that you must avoid when it comes to video creation in Veo 3. When you are using Google VEO, just make sure that Veo 3 is selected. Currently, Veo 2 does not produce videos with audio. It only produces videos with captions. And again, when it comes to the captions, it is not good yet. So make sure Veo 3 is selected before you hit generate in Flow. Next, a generic prompt is going to give you a generic video as well.
What troubles thee most in these times?
Finally, do not put in prompt that has a lot of dialogue or a prompt that is very long. What happens is Veo 3 creates videos that are only 8 seconds max. Veo 3 is gonna cut your video if the prompt is very long or if your prompt has a lot of dialogue.
How do you feel about the current state of the kingdom?
If the taxes rise again, I'll trade my hammer for a pitchfork.
Thank you so much for watching this video to this far. My goal is to reach 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So make sure you subscribe, comment, and like this video. Peace out.